In 2020, there has been a massive shift in the consumer behavior when it comes to online shopping versus in-store shopping. I think if you look at the history of online shopping, I think it is fair to say that it probably took us about 15 years to get to a place where retailers' sales online are probably 3 to 5% of their in-store sales. And I think that what has happened in the last 3 months, that number probably doubled or tripled.
Largely, there's been massive growth with e-commerce across the board, be it the e-commerce only companies or companies moving towards e-commerce. And then the companies moving towards e-commerce have a secondary advantage in that they also can move towards a click and collect option with multiple delivery points at the existing stores.
This lockdown period has challenged us as retailers because there's a whole bank of new clients that are arriving at our online stores for the very first time. These are clients that maybe previously were cautious or reticent or untrusting of the online shopping world. And we've had to scale up really fast.
There are invariably those who argue, well, how can we see a logistics sector growing in an economy that is performing relatively badly? And it comes back to the point. And it's something that property owners need to understand increasingly. It's not the sale of square meters that is important in this game. What is critical is a service being provided.
I think all the tenants are looking for flexibility, ability to scale up, ability to put in technology. The difficulty is when one puts in technology in a rented facility, one looks for quite a long payback and to cover your investment.
If we have a look at capitalization rates or cap rates, the logistics sector, yes, has shown significant capital growth and prospects, and all of that is reflected in a cap rate. So those cap rates are stronger than many of the other sectors in the commercial property market at the moment. But I think there are two important issues again to look at. One will be the rental prospects, which I think look relatively good for the logistics sector. Vacancies are also not expected to decline. And so my view would be that your cap rates in the logistics sector is expected to remain very competitive compared to the other sectors. But low cap rates come with high prices, and that's the trade-off that one will need to find at a particular point.
What does the future of e-commerce and online shopping look like? What does the next 5 to 10 years of change present us with in terms of opportunities? Well, I think that the key focus for us has to be on convergence. Right now, the bricks and mortar shopping experience for most of your customers is very tactile, very manual, very analog. I imagine that it's going to become far more digitally enabled. I imagine that we're going to see the introduction of all sorts of AI interfaces and tools, apps on our phones, whatever it might be, that will greatly enhance my in-store shopping experience. But similarly, the digital experience, the e-commerce experience, will become far more tactile. I imagine that we'll be able to use these technologies to imagine ourselves in that real world space, just using the interface of augmented reality and similarly AI technologies and the like. Ultimately, the future of e-commerce is that we don't think about it as e-commerce anymore. Whether it's real world shopping or online shopping, we're just going to be thinking about shopping.
And I also think that from a working from home perspective, I think this is a great opportunity to give people the opportunity to work from an environment that that is more comfortable for them, to not have to travel long distances or long hours to go to the office. So I think we're gonna ultimately look back at this period in a few years and realize that what this had fast-tracked an industry that where a lot of people like me have been working on to get to this for a very long time, would have allowed us to start working from home in an efficient way and in a way that makes ultimately people happier, and also that I think from a people's management perspective really forces leaders to focus on results as opposed to how many hours you spend at your desk.
Fortress, powering growth.